What would you do if your own family kept you away from every holiday for 10 years, even after your wife passed away? How does a quiet beekeeper become the man who closes every bank account, sells the family home, vanishes for a year, and still isn't done? They thought I was weak when they abandoned me. They were wrong. Before we go any further, take a second to subscribe, hit the hype button, and like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And tell us in the comments, what would you do in this situation? I stand in my backyard with a spatula in one hand and my phone in the other. The grill is fired up, smoke curling into the October air. 6 folding chairs sit arranged around the picnic table, same as every year. The potato salad is covered with plastic wrap. The burgers are ready to go on the grate. My phone screen shows 2:47 p.m. They said they'd be here at noon. I check the group chat one more time. The last message is from 3 weeks ago when I asked what everyone wanted to eat. 14 people saw it. Nobody replied. The coals are turning gray at the edges. I flip them anyway, buying another 20 minutes. A bee lands on the rim of my lemonade glass. I watch it drink, then fly back toward the hives at the edge of the property. At least something around here still knows where home is. By 4 o'clock, the burgers are dried out. I turn off the grill and sit in one of the empty chairs. The neighborhood is quiet except for a dog barking 2 houses down. I can hear the Hendersons laughing in their backyard. They're having people over. I can smell their steaks cooking. My phone buzzes. Not the group chat, just a notification that someone posted a photo. I open it. It's Tara, my daughter. She's standing in front of a beautifully set table with Mason, her husband, and my 2 grandkids. The caption reads, "Grateful for family traditions." The location tag says Morrison Community Center. I scroll down. Evan posted too. Same location, same table. Him and his girlfriend holding wine glasses, smiling at the camera. They're 3 miles away. I set the phone face down on the table and stare at the cold grill. The potato salad has been sitting out too long. I should put it away. Instead, I just sit there as the sun drops lower and the shadows stretch across the yard. This isn't the first time. It's not even the 10th. The next morning, I drive into town for groceries. The store is half empty on a Monday morning. I'm loading apples into a bag when I hear Mason's voice 2 aisles over. "I mean, we tried including him for years," he's saying, loud enough that he doesn't care who hears. But the guy just sits there like a ghost. It's depressing. I freeze with an apple in my hand. Tara says he still talks about her mom like she's coming back. A woman's voice responds. I don't recognize it. "That was 10 years ago." "Exactly," Mason says. "At some point you gotta move on. We have kids to think about. They don't need to grow up around that kind of energy." I put the apple back, walk to the next aisle, pretend I'm reading the label on a can of soup. "Plus the old man traditions?" Mason laughs. "Burgers on a charcoal grill? It's not 1985. We do catering now. Professional setup. He wouldn't fit in anyway." The woman laughs too. "Well, you're doing the right thing. Family should be about the future, not the past." I leave my half-full cart in the aisle and walk out. In the truck, I sit with my hands on the steering wheel. I'm not angry. I expected anger, but it doesn't come. What comes instead is something colder, something like clarity. I drive to the park on the east side of town. There's a pavilion there with picnic tables. I park and watch a young family setting up for a birthday party. Balloons tied to the posts, a sheet cake on the table. 3 generations gathered around, laughing and taking pictures. I remember doing that. Before Linda got sick. Before everything changed. My phone buzzes again. I almost don't look. But I do. It's a notification that I've been removed from the Hale family chat. Removed. Not left. Removed. I stare at the screen until it goes dark. Then I start the truck and drive home. Ruth, my neighbor, is watering her roses when I pull into the driveway. She's 63, been living next door for 18 years. She saw everything. The holidays when Linda was alive, the empty chairs after. "Leonard," she calls out. "You doing all right?" I nod. "Fine." She turns off her hose, walks closer. "I saw your grill going yesterday. Nobody showed?" "Work schedules," I say. It's easier than the truth. Ruth looks at me the way she used to look at her husband before he passed, like she can see straight through the lie but won't call it out. "You know where I am if you need anything." "I know." That night, I sit in the beekeeping shed behind the house. It smells like wood and honey and propane from the melting tank. This is where I think best, where everything makes sense. I pull out an old metal box from under the workbench. Haven't opened it in years. Inside are papers, deeds, business records from before I married Linda, documents I haven't thought about since the kids were small. I spread them out on the workbench and start reading. Somewhere around midnight, I pick up my phone and scroll through my contacts. Find a name I haven't called in over a decade. Attorney Paulson. I don't call yet, but I save the number to my favorites. Outside, the hives are quiet. 60,000 bees in each one, all working together, all knowing their place, all contributing. I wonder what that's like. 10 years ago, Linda passed away on a Tuesday in March due to complications from pneumonia. She was only 52. The memorial gathering was packed, with barely any space left. Linda knew everyone in town. She volunteered at the library every Thursday. She organized the farmers market every summer weekend. She taught beekeeping classes to kids at the community center. People loved her. Evan and Tara were there, of course, crying, holding on to me like I was the only thing keeping them upright. Mason stood beside Tara, looking uncomfortable in his black suit. We were a family then, broken but together. "We'll get through this," Tara said at the cemetery. Her mascara was running. She squeezed my hand so hard it hurt. "We have each other. That's what Mom would want." I believed her. The first few months were a blur. People brought casseroles, sent cards, called to check on me. Ruth came by every other day with soup or bread or just company. But eventually, people went back to their lives. The calls stopped, the visits ended. It was just me and the empty house and the sound of bees humming outside. That first Thanksgiving without Linda, I started planning in October. Called Evan and Tara, asked what they wanted, what the grandkids would eat, whether they had any dietary restrictions. "Whatever you want to make, Dad," Evan said. "We're not picky." I spent 3 days preparing. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, 3 kinds of pie, green bean casserole the way Linda used to make it, set the table with her good china, the plates with the blue flowers she'd inherited from her mother, folded cloth napkins. Put out the centerpiece she always used, a wicker cornucopia filled with gourds and mini pumpkins. The house smelled like home, like Linda was still there. Evan called the morning of. I was basting the turkey, though had my phone tucked between my shoulder and ear. "Hey, Dad." His voice sounded strained. "So, we're actually going to do Thanksgiving with Megan's family this year. Her parents really want us there. First holiday with them, you understand, right?" I stood there with the baster in my hand, turkey juice dripping on the floor. "Sure," I said. "Of course." "Thanks, Dad. You're the best. We'll catch up soon." He hung up. I stared at the phone, then at the turkey, then at the table set for 8. Tara texted an hour later. I was making gravy when my phone buzzed. "Change of plans. Mason's sister is hosting. Huge family thing. Sorry. Next time for sure." I texted back, "Okay." She sent a heart emoji. That was it. I ate turkey alone at a table set for 8. Linda's empty chair across from me, her plate, her glass, her napkin folded the way she liked it. I sat there until midnight. Didn't clean up, didn't move, just sat. "Oh, Christmas that year?" I asked earlier. Gave them 2 months' notice. Sent a group text in October. "Let's do Christmas Eve at my place, just us, like we used to. I'll make Mom's traditional dinner." Tara responded first. "That sounds nice, Dad. We'll be there." Evan, "Count us in." Even Mason replied, "Looking forward to it." I decorated, put up Linda's favorite ornaments, the handmade ones the kids made in elementary school, strung lights around the porch, set up the nativity scene Linda collected piece by piece over 30 years. Bought gifts, wrapped them carefully. Put them under the tree with tags in Linda's handwriting I'd saved from years before. Made her special cinnamon rolls for Christmas morning, her famous prime rib for dinner, roasted vegetables, chocolate cake. The house looked perfect, smelled perfect, felt almost alive again. They didn't come. Tara called at 11 p.m. I was sitting on the couch staring at the tree, all the wrapped presents underneath, the dinner cold in the kitchen. "I'm so sorry, Dad." She sounded tired. Music in the background, laughter. "Mason's office party ran late, and we were just so exhausted. We'll make it up to you, I promise." They didn't. I'm in the park pavilion now, the day after Thanksgiving the following year. Year 2 without Linda. I've learned my lesson about setting expectations, so I've set up a portable grill, made a plate of sandwiches, put out 3 folding chairs. Nothing fancy. Nothing that requires hope. Nobody comes. A kid on a bicycle rides past around 2 p.m., maybe 10 years old, red jacket. He stops, stares at me. "Are you having a party?" he asks. "Waiting for my family," I say. "Where are they?" I look at the empty chairs, the sandwiches going stale in the November wind. "Good question." "That's sad," he says, just like that. Blunt. Honest the way kids are. "Yeah," I agree. He rides away. I pack everything up at sunset. The sandwiches go in the trash. The chairs fold up. The grill goes in the truck. I drive home. Check my phone at every red light. Nothing. At home, I finally open social media. Something I've been avoiding all day. 7 new photos in the family chat. The one I'm still part of. For now. Everyone at Mason's parents' house. Long table decorated with fall colors. His mother at the head, smiling. Mason carving a turkey. Tara laughing in an ugly sweater. Evan holding up a wine glass. The grandkids playing with new toys in the background. Not one message asking where I am. Not one wish you were here. Not even a thinking of you. Just photos of the family moving on without me. Over at the beekeeping shed, I sit with a jar of honey Linda, and I harvested the year before she got sick. 2013, a good year. Warm spring, lots of blooms. The honey is dark, rich, orange blossom with hints of wildflower. We'd been doing this together for 15 years by then. Built the business from 3 hives to 30, from hobby to income, from dream to reality. "This is our retirement," she used to say. We'd be out there in our bee suits, frames dripping with honey, sweat running down our backs. Just you, me, and the bees. No bosses, no schedules, just this. She was right. It was perfect. I unscrew the lid. The honey is crystallized now. Still good, but different. Changed. Like everything else. I take a spoonful. Let it melt on my tongue. Close my eyes. For a second, I can see her, smell her, hear her humming while she worked. Then I open my eyes and she's gone again. I remember the excuses they used, how they started small, reasonable, then grew into something else entirely. First year after the funeral. "You're grieving, Dad. You need space. We don't want to intrude on your process." Second year. "We thought you'd want time alone, to heal, to find yourself again." Third year, I overheard Tara at the farmer's market. I was 2 aisles over, looking at tomatoes. She was talking to another vendor, loud enough that she didn't care who heard. "My dad's too sad to be around people," she said. "It brings everyone down. The kids don't understand why Grandpa is always crying. It's just easier this way." I wasn't crying. I was just quiet. There's a difference. By the 4th year, Mason had taken over managing family invitations. I noticed slowly, no more group texts, no updates. I had to ask when holidays were happening. Mason always answered politely, vaguely. "We're keeping it small this year. Just immediate family." Low key, you know how it is. Except I was immediate family. By the 5th year, Evan was telling coworkers, "My dad prefers being alone with his bees. He's not a people person. Mom was the social one." Ruth heard it through her daughter. None of that was true. I loved people, noise, gatherings, family. I just didn't love being treated like a ghost. They rewrote me as someone who wanted to be forgotten, and eventually they believed it. I think of the gifts I mailed last Christmas. I spent weeks picking them out, things Linda would have chosen. A telescope for Evan's oldest, an art set for Tara's daughter, a handmade wooden train for the youngest. I wrapped everything carefully and mailed them early. Tara returned them unopened. No call, no explanation. Just the packages left on my porch in January, marked return to sender. My phone buzzes. A voicemail from Mason. I almost delete it, but listen. "Hey, Leonard. We think you should focus on moving forward. Linda's been gone a long time. The kids are building their own traditions? Maybe you should too. No hard feelings." No hard feelings. I replay it, hear the dismissal in his voice, then delete it. Inside the house, I pull out the old photo albums. Linda smiling by the hives, Evan and Tara sticky with honey, chaotic Christmas mornings, Linda's 50th birthday when we danced until midnight. 2 years later, she was gone. 40 years of memories they've decided no longer matter. I close the album and put it away. Tomorrow I'll open the metal box again. Tomorrow I'll start planning. Tonight, I sit in the shed with my honey, my memories, and the soft settling hum of the bees, and I think about what Mason said. Moving forward? Maybe he's right, just not in the way he thinks. The 4th of July. I'm standing in my backyard with a bowl of watermelon and 4 folding chairs arranged around the picnic table. The grill is ready, coals hot. I even bought sparklers for the grandkids, the expensive kind that last longer and burn brighter. At 6 p.m., I text the group chat. "Burgers are ready whenever you are." The message doesn't deliver, just sits there with a red exclamation point. I stare at it. Try again, same result. Then I check the chat itself. It's gone. Or rather, I'm gone from it. I try texting Evan directly. You coming by? 3 dots appear immediately, then disappear, then appear again. Finally, can't make it. Sorry. That's it. No explanation, no alternate plan, no maybe next week, or let's reschedule. Just sorry. I stand there in my backyard with smoke rising from the grill and watch the neighbors light fireworks. The Hendersons 3 houses down, the Martinez family across the street, kids running through sprinklers, adults drinking beer, music playing, normal families doing normal things. I eat a burger at the picnic table, alone, watch the sun go down. The sparklers sit unused in their package. At 8 p.m., I get in the truck and drive. No destination, just movement. I drive past the community center on Madison Street. The parking lot is packed, cars overflowing onto the grass. Through the big windows, I can see long tables covered with red, white, and blue tablecloths. Families everywhere, balloons, decorations, a banner that says Annual July 4th Community Celebration. I slow down, look closer. That's when I see them. Mason's SUV parked in the front row, the one with the custom license plate, the one he's so proud of. I park across the street, sit there in the growing darkness. Through the windows, I can see Tara. She's standing near the food table, laughing at something. Mason beside her. Evan and his girlfriend at another table. The grandkids running between chairs, playing tag. They're all there. 3 miles from my house. At a community event I wasn't told about. I watch for 20 minutes. Nobody looks toward the parking lot. Nobody checks their phone and thinks, we should have invited Dad. Nobody seems to remember I exist. I drive to Ruth's house. She's on her porch with a glass of iced tea and a book. Looks up when I pull in. Thought you might stop by, she says. Hope that's okay. Always. She pours me a glass from a pitcher on the side table. They do it again? I nod. Take the glass. The tea is sweet. Too sweet. Linda used to make it perfect. Just enough sugar to take the edge off, but not enough to taste like syrup. Leonard, Ruth says carefully, setting down her book. People forget that gentle men can still stand up. I look at her. She's wearing reading glasses. A cardigan even though it's warm out. She looks like somebody's grandmother, which she is, but not mine. What do you mean? I ask. I mean, you've been setting out chairs for people who aren't coming. At some point, you got to stop setting out chairs. And do what? Stand up. Show them you're not a doormat. That you've got a spine. I sip the tea. Think about that? I don't know how. Ruth reaches over, pats my hand. Her skin is paper thin, spotted with age, but warm. Real. You'll figure it out. You're smarter than they think. Than they've ever given you credit for. I'm just a beekeeper. You're a man who built a business from nothing, who owned property before they were born, who knows how to survive. Don't sell yourself short. I stay for an hour. We don't talk much. Just sit. Watch fireflies appear in her garden. Listen to distant fireworks. When I get home, I sit on the floor of my bedroom and pull the metal box from the closet. I've looked at these papers before, casually, without purpose. Tonight I study them. Property deed for the house at 417 Meadowbrook. Purchased November 1987 for $73,000. Title in my name only. Linda was added later for estate purposes. I remember the lawyer explaining that. But when she passed, it reverted to sole ownership. The house is worth at least $400,000 now. Maybe more. Business registration for Hale Honey Company. Established March 1992. No partners. No co-owners. Just me. A land survey for the 40 acres behind the house. Inherited from my father in 1985. Never subdivided, never transferred, never put into joint ownership. I spread the papers across the carpet. Birth certificates, marriage license, account statements from before the kids were born, investment records from my 20s, everything I built before Linda, everything I still own now, the house, the land, the business, the accounts. All mine. Not theirs, not yet, not ever, if I decide. My phone is on the nightstand. I pick it up, scroll through contacts I haven't called in years, find the name I'm looking for. Attorney Paulson. We went to high school together, lost touch after graduation, reconnected briefly when I needed help with business incorporation in the 90s. Haven't spoken since. My finger hovers over the call button. Not yet, not tonight, but soon. I put the papers back in the box, all except one, the property deed. I take that to the kitchen, sit at the table under the overhead light. Read every word. legal description, lot boundaries. Property taxes paid through 2024. Clear title, no liens, no encumbrances. Sole owner, Leonard James Hale. I fold it carefully, put it in my wallet. Outside, the hives are quiet in the darkness. 60,000 bees in each one, all working together, all knowing their place, all contributing to something bigger than themselves. I wonder what that's like, to be part of something that actually wants you there. The next week, I'm at the community center for a public meeting about proposed zoning changes. The county wants to allow commercial development on agricultural land. It would affect my 40 acres. I arrive early, take a seat in the back, watch people file in. Mason walks in 20 minutes later with Tara. They're dressed professionally. Mason in a suit, Tara in a dress and heels. They're laughing about something, some private joke. Don't see me in the back row. They sit 3 rows ahead. The meeting starts. Someone from the Planning Commission explains the proposal, maps on a projector, lot numbers highlighted. Halfway through, there's a break, coffee and cookies in the hall. I stand to leave, need air, need space. Dad? I turn. Tara is staring at me. Her expression is confused, startled, like I'm a stranger who wandered into her house. What are you doing here? She asks. I live here, I say, keep my voice level, calm. This is a public meeting about my property. Your property? The 40 acres. The zoning change would affect it. Oh. She glances at Mason, who's appeared beside her. We didn't know you were coming. I didn't know I needed permission. Mason adjusts his tie. We should get back inside. They're starting again soon. I brought honey, I say. Don't know why I say it. The words just come out. For the grandkids. I've got 3 jars in a canvas bag. Small ones, 4 ounces each. Was going to drop them at the library donation table after the meeting. Tara glances at the bag, at Mason, back to me. We're actually trying to reduce sugar in their diet. Doctor's orders, but thanks anyway. It's honey. It's natural. Still sugar. She smiles, the polite smile you give strangers. We appreciate the thought, though. She walks away, back toward the meeting room. Mason lingers for a second, looks at me with something like pity, or maybe contempt. Hard to tell the difference sometimes. No offense, Leonard, he says quietly, but showing up at random places isn't going to make things different. What would make things different? I ask. He thinks about that. Shrugs. Maybe if you had something they wanted. Then he follows Tara inside. I stand there in the hallway with a bag of honey and nowhere to go. The meeting continues without me. I leave, drive home, don't stop at the library. That night, I stay in the beekeeping shed until 3 in the morning. The hives hum outside. Linda always said it sounded like the earth breathing. I open the metal box again and lay everything out in order. Documents from 1986, business records from the 90s. The deed with my father's signature, the transfer papers from 1998. This house, this land, this business, mine long before Linda. Still mine now. Mason's words echo. Maybe if you had something they wanted. I do, I always have. They just don't know it's mine to keep. I pick up the phone. It's 3:30 a.m., but I dial anyway. After 4 rings, a sleepy woman answers the Paulson Law Office emergency line. I ask for Attorney Paulson. Moments later, he comes on. Leonard Hale. From high school? It's me, I say. It's been 15 years. What's wrong? I need help with estate matters. I need to know my options before I change my mind. He hesitates. What kind of matters? The kind that need to be handled carefully, legally, permanently. I want to protect my assets. Make sure they go where I want, not where people assume. Are we talking about your will? Among other things. Are you in trouble? No, I'm trying to prevent trouble. He finally says, come to my office tomorrow at 9. Bring everything. I'll be there. When I hang up, I look at the papers spread across the bench. A bee taps at the window. I open the door and let it out into the darkness. Then I turn back to organize everything Paulson will need. The bank branch is cold. Too much air conditioning. The manager, a woman named Patricia, sits across from me with a folder open. You're closing all of them? She asks. Yes. The savings account has been open since 1991. I know. She types something into her computer, frowns at the screen. And the business account, the one with Hale Honey Company? That too. Mr. Hale, that account has substantial holdings, over $200,000. I'm aware. Patricia looks up, studies my face. And the investment accounts? All 3 of them. Everything. She leans back in her chair. Mr. Hale, forgive me, but this is highly unusual. Are you facing some kind of financial hardship? Because if you are, there are better options than liquidating everything at once. I'm not facing hardship. Then why? I'd just like to close the accounts, please. She studies me for another moment. I can see her trying to decide if I'm competent, if I'm being coerced, if she should call someone. This will have tax implications, she says carefully. Significant ones. My attorney is handling that. You have an attorney? Yes. She types something else, clicks her mouse several times. It'll take about 45 minutes to process everything. You'll receive certified checks for the full balances. Are you sure you want to do this today? I'm sure. Patricia nods slowly. All right. Please have a seat in the waiting area. I'll call you when everything is ready. While I wait, I watch people come and go. A young couple opening a joint account. They're laughing about something, holding hands across the desk. An older man depositing a stack of checks, probably from his business. A woman arguing with a teller about overdraft fees. Everyone has somewhere their money is going. Plans, futures. Mine is going away. Away from here. Away from them. I pull out my phone. Check the family social media one last time. Mason posted this morning. A photo of him and Tara at some fancy restaurant. Date night without the kids? Sometimes you need grown-up time. 47 likes, 12 comments, everyone saying how cute they are, how they deserve it. I put the phone away. Patricia returns with a manila envelope, thick, heavy. Certified checks as requested, and I've notated that all automatic transfers have been canceled. Any linked accounts at other institutions will no longer receive deposits from these accounts. Thank you. She hands me a printed summary. For your records, the total comes to $412,618. I take the envelope. Stand. Mr. Hale, she says. Her voice is softer now. I knew your wife. Linda was wonderful. She helped my daughter with a school project once. Spent hours teaching her about bees. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, I say. I hope you know what you're doing. I do. Outside, I sit in my truck with the envelope on the passenger seat. $400,000. 40 years of work. Every sunrise at the hives, every extraction, every farmer's market, every jar sold. All of it, right here in paper form. I start the truck and drive. The farmer's market on the south end of town is packed. Saturday morning always is. Families, couples, people buying fresh vegetables and homemade bread and local honey. My usual booth is empty. I haven't sold here in 2 years. I lost the motivation after Linda passed. But I walk through anyway. Past the produce stands. The bread vendor. The woman selling goat cheese who always asked about Linda. Someone calls my name. It's Paul, who used to buy honey by the case for his restaurant. Leonard, where have you been? I've been looking for your honey everywhere. Taking a break, I say. Well, don't break too long. Nobody makes honey like you. You got that orange blossom flavor just right. My customers ask about it all the time. Thanks, Paul. You coming back anytime soon? Not sure yet. He claps me on the shoulder. Well, when you do, call me first. I'll buy everything you got. I thank him and keep walking. At the far end of the market, near the coffee stand, I see them. Evan and Tara. They're with the grandkids. The youngest is maybe 6 now. Blonde hair like Linda had. I haven't seen her in person since she was 3. I stop walking. Just watch. Tara is laughing at something Evan said. Mason is there too, holding shopping bags. The kids are playing with a balloon someone gave them. It's yellow, bouncing between them on the breeze. It's a perfect moment. A family moment. The kind I used to have. I'm 20 feet away, close enough to call out, close enough to walk over, close enough to say hello to my own grandchildren. They don't see me. Tara pulls out her phone, takes a selfie with everyone. The kids make faces. Evan does bunny ears behind Mason's head. Everyone laughs. I watch her type a caption, post it, smile at the screen. Then I turn and walk back to the truck. The county recorder's office smells like old paper and floor cleaner. Everything is beige. The chairs, the walls, the woman behind the bulletproof glass. I need to file a property transfer. I say. She slides a form through the slot. Fill this out, both sides. I do. Name, address, property identification number, legal description, sale price, buyer information, sign at the bottom, date it, slide it back. She types, clicks, types some more, doesn't look at me. This shows the house at 417 Meadowbrook? That's right. You're transferring full ownership to? She squints at the screen. Riverside Property Management? Yes. And they're paying, she whistles, $380,000? That's correct. She prints something, stamps it 3 times. The sound echoes in the quiet office, slides it back. You'll receive confirmation in 3 to 5 business days. The deed will be recorded and mailed to both parties. Is there anything else? That's all. Have a nice day. Outside, I sit on a bench. The sun is setting, orange and purple streaking across the sky. I pull out my phone and call Attorney Paulson. It's done, I say. The house? Signed this afternoon. And the accounts? Closed this morning. $412,000. Paulson is quiet for a moment. I can hear him breathing. And the business assets? Liquidated. The equipment sold. The hives contracted to a management company. Leonard, he says carefully, you understand what this means. I do. There's no going back from this. Once we execute the trust documents and transfer the funds, it's permanent. I know. Your children will have no legal claim to any of it. That's the idea. Another pause. Longer this time. I need to ask, are you absolutely sure? I look up at the sky. It's turning darker now, stars beginning to appear. Linda used to love sunsets. Would make me stop whatever I was doing just to watch. I'm sure, I say. All right, come by the office Monday. We'll finalize everything. Thank you, Paulson. Leonard, for what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing. I hang up. That night, I drive 2 hours north to a town I've never been to. A town where nobody knows my name, nobody knows about Linda, nobody knows about the empty chairs or the cold grill or the 10 years of waiting. I find a small rental office next to a gas station. The man behind the counter is watching TV. Some kind of reality show. Doesn't look up when I walk in. Help you? I need a place for a year, I say. Something quiet, no neighbors. He mutes the TV, looks at me. You running from something? No, running toward something. He grunts. Got a cabin 30 miles east, middle of nowhere, no cell service, paid monthly. I'll take it. He slides a contract across the counter. I read it. Standard lease, month to month. Security deposit, no pets, no subletting, I sign. Pay 6 months up front in cash from the envelope. He counts it twice. You sure you want to be out there? It's isolated. That's what I want. He hands me a key on a wooden fob. Number 12 carved into it. Cabin 12, GPS won't work once you get past mile marker 40. Follow the signs, red arrows on the trees. Thank you. Good luck with whatever you're running toward. I drive out that night. The road gets narrower, darker, trees pressing in on both sides. My headlights cut through the blackness. At mile marker 40, the pavement ends, becomes gravel, then dirt. I follow red arrows painted on tree trunks. Left, right, straight, left again. The cabin appears in my headlights. Small, wood siding. A front porch with 2 chairs, windows dark. I park, get out. The air smells like pine and earth. No sound except wind in the trees and something moving in the brush. Inside, the cabin is simple. 1 room, a wood stove in the corner, a bed with a thin mattress, a table with 2 chairs, a sink with a hand pump. No electricity, no running water, no phone service. Perfect. I set my bag down, sit on the bed, pull out my phone, 7 missed calls, all from Evan, 3 text messages from Tara. Dad, where are you? We need to talk. This is ridiculous. Call me back. I turn the phone off, put it in the drawer of the nightstand. Then I lie down and sleep better than I have in 10 years. The cabin becomes home faster than I expected. I wake with the sun, no alarm, no schedule. Just light filtering through the windows and birds singing outside. The first week, I chop wood. There's an axe in the shed behind the cabin and a pile of logs someone left behind. I spend hours splitting them, stacking them, feeling my muscles remember work they haven't done in years. At night, I light the wood stove, sit in front of it with a book I found on the shelf, something about a man who builds a cabin in Alaska. It's fiction, but it feels real. 1 month passes, then 2. I grow a beard. It comes in gray. Makes me look older. Or maybe I just look like myself for the first time in years. I lose weight. 15 pounds, maybe 20. My clothes hang loose. My wedding ring spins on my finger. My hands stop shaking. I hadn't realized they'd been shaking. In the afternoons, I walk. There's a trail behind the cabin that leads to a stream. The water is clear, cold. I can see fish moving in the current. Small ones, brown trout maybe. I sit on a flat rock and watch them. Watch the water move, watch the light change. Nobody asks me questions here. Nobody wants anything. Nobody expects me to be someone I'm not. The small town nearby has a library, a diner, a post office, a general store. I go once a week, buy supplies, eat breakfast at the diner, read newspapers in the library. The waitress at the diner is maybe 40. Red hair, name tag says Denise. "You're new," she says the first time I come in. "Staying at the cabins." "Which one?" 12. She pours coffee without asking. "That's the quiet one. No neighbors for miles." "That's why I picked it." "Running from something?" Everyone asks that. "Resting from something," I say. She nods. "I get that. What can I get you?" "Eggs, toast, bacon if you have it." "We have it." The food is simple, good. I eat slowly. Watch people come and go, truckers, local workers, a family with 3 kids who make a mess and leave a small tip. After 6 months, Denise stops asking what I want. Just brings the same order, eggs, toast, bacon, coffee. One morning, a man sits across from me. He's maybe 70. Overalls, work boots, hands like tree bark. "You're the guy at cabin 12, he says. "That's right." "Thought so. Seen your truck." He doesn't introduce himself. Just sits there drinking coffee from a chipped mug. "You're not from around here," he says. "No." "Running from something?" "Resting from something." He nods, sips his coffee. "I did that once. Took a whole year. Best thing I ever did." "What happened after?" "Went back," he says. "But I went back different." "Different how?" He thinks about that. Stares out the window at the parking lot. "Went back knowing what I was worth. What I wasn't willing to accept anymore. People think leaving is weak, but sometimes leaving is the only way to see clear." He stands, drops a $5 bill on the table. "Good luck out there." Then he's gone. I think about that. Going back different. After 8 months, I drive into town and find a payphone outside the general store. Haven't used one in years. Have to read the instructions. I dial Attorney Paulson's office. He answers on the second ring. "Paulson Law." "It's Leonard." Silence. Then, "Leonard? Where are you?" "Doesn't matter. Is everything ready?" "Yes. The trust is finalized. The Leonard and Linda Hale Youth Agriculture Trust is fully established. The land transfer is recorded. The business assets have been liquidated and distributed as you requested." "And the house?" "Sold 4 months ago. Proceeds are in escrow as you specified. The buyers are a young family. They love it." "Good." "Leonard," Paulson says carefully. "Are you ready for this?" "Yes." "They're going to be upset." "I know." "I mean really upset. This isn't just about money. You're cutting them out completely." "I'm aware." "They might fight it." "Let them." Paulson sighs. "All right. When do you want to do this?" "Soon. Next month." "Where?" "The event hall on Riverside. Neutral ground, public space. I'll need you there." "Of course." "Send formal invitations. Make it clear attendance is mandatory." "Mandatory?" "Yes. Legal language. Make it sound official." Another pause. "Leonard, what exactly are you planning?" "Finishing something I should have finished years ago." "Are you coming back?" "For this, yes." "And after?" "We'll see." I hang up. Stand there by the payphone. A woman walks past with grocery bags. Nods at me. I nod back. That night, I sit on the porch of the cabin with a jar of honey Linda and I made together. The last jar. I've been saving it. Not sure why. I open it. The honey is crystallized now. Thick, but still good. I taste it. Sweet. Complex. Orange blossom with a hint of clover. Linda always said you could taste the sunshine in good honey. She was right. I pack slowly over the next 2 weeks. There's not much. Some clothes. A photo of Linda in a wooden frame. The jar of honey. A few books from the cabin shelf. Ruth calls the night before I leave. I gave her the cabin number months ago. Emergency contact. "Leonard, is that you?" "It's me." "Where have you been? People have been asking. Your kids came by the house looking for you. Seemed worried." "Were they?" Ruth is quiet for a moment. "What are you doing, Leonard?" "Finishing something." "Are you coming back to town?" "For a little while." "And then?" "I don't know yet." "Are you nervous?" I think about that. Look out at the trees, the stars, the quiet. "No," I say. "I'm ready." "Good," she says. "Whatever it is, give them hell." "I will." "Leonard, I'm proud of you." I don't know what to say to that. "Thank you, Ruth." Come see me when you get back. I will. I hang up. Sit there in the dark for a long time. Then I go inside and sleep one last night in the cabin. I drive back to town the next morning. The road feels different, shorter, like I've been gone for years instead of months. The house at 417 Meadowbrook looks different too. There's a young family living there now. A swing set in the yard, toys scattered on the porch, a basketball hoop installed over the garage. Someone planted flowers along the walkway. Linda would have liked that. I don't stop, just drive past slowly, looking. The beekeeping shed is exactly as I left it. The hives are maintained by a company I hired through Paulson, professional apiarists who keep the colonies healthy and extract the honey twice a year. The proceeds go into the trust. The bees don't know I'm gone, don't know anything changed. I walk through the shed one more time, touch the workbench where Linda and I used to process frames, the extractor in the corner, the bottles lined up on shelves. Everything smells like honey and wood and thyme. I lock the door, leave the key under a rock by the steps, won't be needing it anymore. Ruth is waiting on her porch when I pull into my old driveway. She waves, I walk over. You look different, she says. I feel different. Good. She stands, hugs me. Want some coffee? I'd love some. Inside, her house smells like cinnamon and old books. Photos everywhere. Her husband, her kids, grandkids I've watched grow up from next door. She pours coffee. We sit at her kitchen table. Tell me, she says. Tell you what? What you're about to do. I sip the coffee. You know me too well. I've been watching you set out empty chairs for 10 years, Leonard. I know exactly what you're about to do. I smile. It's just a family meeting. No, it's not. No, I admit. It's not. Ruth reaches across the table, takes my hand. Whatever happens, you did the right thing. You hear me? I hear you. They took advantage of a good man. They mistook kindness for weakness. That's on them. I know. So don't you dare feel guilty about this. I won't. She squeezes my hand. Good. Now get out of here. You've got work to do. The event hall is on the west side of town. Big building, big parking lot. Used for weddings and reunions and company parties. I reserved the main conference room. 3 hours, Saturday afternoon. Paid extra for privacy and security. The woman at the front desk looks up when I enter. Young, maybe 25. Name tag says Jessica. Can I help you? I have a reservation. Leonard Hale. She types on her computer. Oh, yes. Room B. Your attorney already dropped off some materials. They're on the conference table. Thank you. Will you need anything else? Coffee? Water? No, thank you. All right. Room B is down that hallway. Third door on the right. You have it until 5 p.m. I walk down the hallway. Past room A where someone is setting up for a birthday party. Balloons, streamers. A cake on the table. Room B is quiet, empty, clean. On the conference table is a cardboard box. Inside are folders, 12 of them, each one labeled. I open them one by one. Check the contents, property deeds, account statements, business records, screenshots, photos, text messages, emails, 10 years of evidence. Everything they need to see, everything they never thought I'd keep. I arrange them in order around the table, one folder at each seat. Then I sit down at the head of the table and wait. My phone buzzes, a text from Evan. What is this about? I don't respond. Another text. From Tara. Dad, this is ridiculous. We're not coming to some weird meeting, I type. You'll want to be there, trust me. Send. Another buzz. Mason this time. This better be important. We had plans. I don't respond to that one. At 1:45, I hear voices in the hallway, getting louder, coming closer. The door opens. Evan walks in first. He's wearing khakis and a button-down shirt. Hair combed, like he's dressed for something important but isn't sure what. He sees me, stops. Dad? What is this? Sit down, I say. Tara enters next. Dressed nice too, Mason behind her. He's wearing a suit, always overdressed, always trying to look like the important one. We got your attorney's invitation, Tara says. Her voice has an edge to it. It said mandatory attendance. That's pretty dramatic, don't you think? Sit, I say again. They do, slowly, looking at each other, looking at the folders in front of them, confused. Attorney Paulson enters last, closes the door behind him, stands near the wall with his briefcase, doesn't sit. Thank you all for coming, I say. My voice is steady, calm, not angry, not emotional, just clear. What's going on? Evan asks. Where have you been? We've been trying to reach you for months. I've been away. Away where? Doesn't matter. I'm back now. Mason leans back in his chair, arms crossed. This is about money, isn't it? In a way. I knew it, he says. Looks at Tara. I told you he'd try something like this. Try what? I ask. Some kind of guilt trip, some kind of manipulation to get us to... Open the folders, I say. They look down. Hesitate. Open them. Tara picks hers up, opens it, starts reading, her face changes. Evan opens his, flips through pages, looks up at me. This is the deed to the house. Yes. It says sold. That's right. When? August. You sold the house? His voice rises. Without telling us? It was my house, I say. I bought it in 1987 with money I earned before I met your mother. When she passed, it became mine again. Sole ownership. I sold it to a family who actually wanted it. But that's our childhood home, Tara says. Was. You can't just... I did. Mason stands. What about our inheritance? There it is. The real question. The one they all wanted to ask, but were too polite. That's why we're here, I say. I open my own folder, the one I've been holding. Slide papers across the table to each of them. These are the account statements, I say. From Hale Honey Company. Business checking, business savings, 3 investment accounts, a money market, a retirement fund. Evan grabs his copy, scans it. These are all closed. Yes. When? Last year, April. Tara looks up. Her eyes are wide. All of them? Every single one. Where did the money go? I slide another set of papers. Into a trust, the Leonard and Linda Hale Youth Agriculture Trust. It provides grants and scholarships to young people in this county who want to study farming, beekeeping, or sustainable agriculture. Silence. Complete silence. Mason's face is red. You gave away the business money? Yes. How much? $412,618, plus the proceeds from the equipment sales. Another $60,000. $500,000? His voice cracks. You gave away $500,000? I didn't give it away. I invested it in something meaningful. Tara stands now. Her chair scrapes against the floor. You had no right to do that. I had every right. It was my money from my business that I built with your mother before either of you were born. But we're your children, Evan says. His voice is quieter than Mason's, almost hurt. That money was supposed to be for us. Why? He stares at me. What do you mean, why? Why would it be for you? Because we're your family. I open the third folder. This one is thick, full of papers. I spread them across the table carefully, methodically. These are from the last 10 years, I say. Every holiday, every birthday, every summer cookout, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every 4th of July. They lean forward. Look, printed photos, me standing alone in the backyard, empty chairs arranged around the picnic table, a grill with cold coals, a table set for 8 with only one person. 10 years, I say. I set out chairs, made food, sent invitations, called, texted, waited. Evan picks up a photo, dated 3 years ago, Thanksgiving. Dad, Let me finish. I slide more papers. These are text messages, all of them, from the last decade, sorted by year. Tara picks one up, reads. Her face goes pale. This is from the family group chat, she says quietly. Yes, the one you removed me from. We didn't... March 14th, 2 years ago, I was removed at 3:47 p.m., right after I asked about Easter dinner. Mason shifts in his seat. People get removed from chats all the time. It's not personal. It was extremely personal. I slide more. These are emails, 26 of them, invitations I sent to family gatherings, Christmas parties, summer picnics, my birthday dinners. You responded to 4 out of 26. 2 of those responses were, sorry, can't make it. One was, maybe next time. The last one was from Mason telling me to stop being clingy. Mason's jaw tightens. I don't remember that. March 9th, last year. I have it printed right here. I hand him the paper. He reads it, doesn't say anything. These, I continue, sliding another stack, are screenshots from social media. Your social media. Photos of family gatherings I wasn't invited to, holiday parties at the community center, Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas mornings with the grandkids. Tara's hands are shaking. We thought you wanted to be alone. Did you? You were grieving. For 10 years? We didn't want to make you uncomfortable. I laugh. Actually laugh. It surprises me. Uncomfortable. You thought including me in my own family would make me uncomfortable. You always seemed so sad, Evan says. You thought it was easier to exclude me than deal with my grief? He doesn't respond. I stand, walk to the window, look out at the parking lot. Families getting out of cars, kids running ahead, normal people doing normal things. Do you know what I did? I ask, my back still to them. Every single holiday, I got up early, I cleaned the house, I set out chairs, I fired up the grill, I made potato salad the way your mother used to make it. I bought steaks, I bought drinks, I bought gifts for the grandkids. I turn around, face them, and I waited. I sat in my backyard from noon until dark, checking my phone, watching the driveway, hoping you'd changed your mind, hoping you'd surprise me, hoping that maybe this year would be different. Tara is crying now, quiet tears. We didn't know. You knew. You thought I was weak. You thought I'd always be there, waiting, hoping, desperate for scraps of your attention. That's not true, Evan says. Isn't it? I sit back down, slide more papers across the table. These are the gifts I sent, 32 packages over 10 years, gifts for birthdays, Christmases, graduations, baby showers. Tara, you returned 11 of them, unopened. She looks down, doesn't deny it. Evan, you returned 4. The others you kept but never acknowledged. Mason, I look at him. You sent me a message 2 years ago. I have it printed here. You told me to move on with my life and stop clinging to people who had moved forward. Mason says nothing. Do you know what I did after I got that message? I ask. I sat in my beekeeping shed for 6 hours. Didn't move, didn't eat, just sat there trying to understand how my family had turned into strangers who saw me as a burden. Dad, Tara starts. I'm not finished. I open the last folder, the important one. These are the legal documents, finalized 3 weeks ago. I hand them each a copy. The house is sold. Proceeds went partly into the trust, partly into a separate fund for maintaining the beehives and shed in perpetuity as an educational resource. The business is dissolved, all assets liquidated, money transferred to the Youth Agriculture Trust. The land, 40 acres, has been deeded to the County Conservation Program. It will remain undeveloped, a natural preserve in your mother's name. And this, I slide the final paper to each of them, is the updated beneficiary designation for my life insurance, pension, and any remaining personal assets. Evan reads. His hands shake. It says the Youth Trust. That's correct. All of it? Every penny. What about us? Tara asks. Her voice is small now, broken. What about you? You're leaving us nothing? I'm leaving you exactly what you left me. The room is silent. Mason recovers first. This is insane. You can't do this. We'll fight it. Fight what? Attorney Paulson speaks for the first time, steps forward. Everything Mr. Hale has done is completely legal. The house was his sole property. The business was his sole property. The land was inherited directly from his father, never subdivided, never transferred. He has every right to dispose of his assets as he sees fit. But we're his children, Mason says. That doesn't entitle you to his property. This is revenge, Tara says. Pure revenge. No, I say. This is consequence. Evan stands, paces to the window, looks out. His shoulders are shaking. I didn't realize, he says. His voice is thick. I swear, Dad, I didn't realize it had gotten this bad. Yes, you did? He turns. No, I thought you were okay with it. I thought you preferred being alone after Mom was gone. Everyone said what? That you were deeply down, that being around people made it worse, that we should give you space. Who said that? He looks at Tara. She's staring at the table, at the papers spread in front of her, at the evidence of 10 years she can't deny. I might have said that, she admits quietly. At the beginning, right after Mom was gone, you seemed so shattered. You thought it was easier to believe I wanted to be alone than to actually include me? Yes. The word comes out like a confession. Yes, it was easier. Mason crosses his arms. This is ridiculous. So we didn't invite you to a few parties. That doesn't justify cutting us out of everything. A few parties? I pick up one of the stacks. 37 events. I counted. 37 family gatherings over 10 years that I wasn't invited to. We had other things going on, Mason says. Jobs, kids, lives. I had a life, too. Sitting alone in a shed playing with bees? The contempt in his voice is clear, always has been. He's never hidden it well. Maintaining a business that employed 4 seasonal workers and produced 40,000 pounds of honey annually, I say calmly. A business that funded scholarships for agricultural students, that supported the farmers market, that gave tours to school groups, that contributed to pollination research. But you don't care about any of that, because it wasn't flashy, wasn't impressive, wasn't something you could brag about at your office parties. Mason's jaw tightens. I never said, you didn't have to. You made it clear every time you talked about old man traditions and the real family and how holidays were better without me there. You heard that? I hear a lot of things. Tara is crying harder now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We made a mistake. Yes, I say. You did. Can we fix it? No. What do you mean, no? I mean, the papers are signed, the trust is established, the house is sold, the business is dissolved, it's done. But we can still... She looks around desperately. We can still be a family, right? We can start over. Do better. I look at her. Really look at her. My daughter, 30 years old. I remember teaching her to ride a bike, to swim, to identify different kinds of bees. I remember Linda combing her hair before school, making her lunch, reading her bedtime stories. Where did that little girl go? You can't start over, I say quietly. You can just start different. Then let's do that, Evan says. He comes back to the table, sits down. Let's start different. Please, Dad. We'll make it right. How? We'll include you in everything. We'll call more, visit more, bring the kids, have dinners, holidays at your place like we used to. I don't have a place anymore. Then we'll find you one. We'll help you, please. I look at him, at his face. He means it. Right now, in this moment, he genuinely means it. But in 6 months, a year, when the guilt fades and the routine sets back in, no, I say. Why not? Because you haven't understood yet. Understood what? That this isn't about money. It's not about the house or the business or the land. I stand, walk to where Attorney Paulson is standing, take a folder from his briefcase, return to the table. This, I say, opening it, is what it's about. Inside are more photos. Different ones, not the empty chairs, not the cold grill. These are older, from before. Linda and me at our wedding, young, smiling, her in a white dress, me in a rented tux. The two of us building the first beehive together, covered in bee suits, laughing, Evan and Tara as babies, Linda holding them, me standing beside her, pride on my face, Christmas mornings, birthday parties, family dinners, camping trips, the lake house we used to rent every summer, 40 years of memories. Your mother and I built something, I say. Not just a business or a house or a bank account. We built a family, a life, traditions. We built memories worth keeping. When she was gone, I thought you'd help me keep her presence alive. I thought we'd honor her together, remember her together, hold on to the traditions she cherished. Instead, you wiped her memory from your routines. You wiped out everything we built. You created new traditions without me, new holidays without the person who made them meaningful in the first place. You didn't just leave me out of gatherings. You left me out of the family your mother left this world believing would stay united. My voice cracks. First time, I stop, breathe. And that, I continue, see, is what I can't forgive. Silence, long, heavy silence. I don't want your apologies, I say. I don't want your promises to do better. I don't want forced invitations or guilty phone calls. I want what you took from me, my family, my place, my worth, and you can't give that back. I close the folder. Look at each of them one more time. So the money is gone. The house is gone. The business is gone. Everything you thought you'd inherit someday, gone. And maybe, I say, maybe someday when you're my age and your kids have forgotten you exist, you'll understand why. I pick up my jacket. Look at Attorney Paulson. We're done here. Wait, Tara says. Please, just wait. I stop at the door. What do you want from us? She asks. Tell us what we can do. I turn. Look at her. I want you to remember this feeling, I say. This moment, when you realized what you lost, when you understood that some things don't come back once they're gone. Remember it, and do better with your own children. Then I walk out. Behind me, I hear crying, shouting, Mason's voice rising, Evan trying to calm everyone down. I don't go back. Attorney Paulson catches up with me in the parking lot. That was hard, he says. Yes. How do you feel? I think about that. Stand there in the afternoon sun. Look up at the sky. Free, I say. The parking lot is still full of their voices when I reach my truck. Shouting, crying. Mason's angry accusations drifting through the autumn air. I get in, close the door. The silence is immediate, complete. I sit there for a moment, hands on the steering wheel, not shaking, not anymore. Attorney Paulson taps on my window. I roll it down. They're asking to see you again, he says. Tara wants 5 more minutes. Evan is demanding to review all the paperwork. Mason is threatening legal action. Let him threaten. They're claiming you're not of sound mind. I almost laugh. After 10 years of being invisible, suddenly they care about my mental health? Apparently. Tell them no. Tell them everything is final. Tell them if they contest anything, they'll lose and it'll cost them whatever relationship might still exist. Paulson nods. Where will you go? North. Back to the cabin for a while. And after that? Haven't decided. He reaches through the window, shakes my hand. It's been an honor, Leonard. What you did in there, it took courage. Or cruelty. Sometimes they're the same thing. I start the truck. He steps back. Through the rearview mirror, I watch the event hall door open. Tara comes out first, looks around the parking lot, sees my truck, starts running toward me. I put the truck in reverse. She's calling my name, waving her arms. I back out of the space, shift into drive. She reaches the truck, pounds on the passenger window. Dad, please, just talk to me. I look at her, really look at her one last time. Her face is red, mascara running, hair messy. She looks desperate, broken. She looks exactly how I felt for 10 years. I drive away. In the rearview mirror, she gets smaller, stands in the parking lot, arms at her sides, defeated. Then she disappears around a corner and I don't look back again. I drive to Ruth's house. She's in the garden, looks up when I pull in. It's done? She asks. It's done. She wipes dirt from her hands, walks over, studies my face. How do you feel? Like I can breathe again. She smiles, reaches up, touches my cheek. Good, that's good. I'm leaving, I say. Going back north for a while. I figured. Will you come back? Someday, maybe, to check on the hives. I'll water them until you do. Thank you, Ruth, for everything. You gave me good entertainment for 10 years, she says. Watching you finally stand up was worth the wait. I hug her. She smells like earth and roses. Live your life, Leonard, she whispers. Don't waste another minute on people who wasted yours. I won't. I get back in the truck. Wave once, drive away. The town gets smaller in my mirrors, the buildings, the people, the memories, all of it fading. I take the highway north, windows down, radio off, just the sound of wind and road. My phone starts buzzing, texts, calls, voicemails piling up. At a rest stop, I pull over, take out the phone, look at the screen, 43 missed calls, 67 text messages. I turn it off, walk to a trash can, stand there holding it, but I don't throw it away, not yet. Instead, I put it in the glove box, close it, lock it. Maybe someday I'll turn it back on, but not today. The cabin is exactly as I left it. Dark, quiet, waiting. I light the wood stove, unpack my bag, sit in the chair by the window. Outside, the sun is setting, orange and purple, the mountains turning black against the sky. I open the jar of honey, the last one Linda and I made together, take a spoonful, let it sit on my tongue. Sweet, complex, perfect. We did good, I say out loud, to the empty room, to Linda, to myself. The fire crackles, the cabin warms, night falls completely. I sit there in the orange glow, not thinking about them, not thinking about what they're doing right now, what they're saying, how they're trying to fix something that's been broken for a decade. I think about Linda instead, her laugh, her honey-covered hands, the way she hummed at the hives. The life we built, the life that mattered. For the first time in 10 years, I genuinely smile. They thought they could erase me from the family, from the traditions, from everything Linda and I created. But I'm the one who walked away, on my terms, with my dignity intact. They're left with the people they chose to become, and with the inheritance they ruined themselves. I'm left with Linda's memory, with peace. A jar of honey glows in the firelight. I lift it toward the ceiling, toward wherever she is. This one's for you, I say. For us. For everything they tried to take. Then I set it down and close my eyes. Tomorrow I'll wake with the sun, chop wood, walk the trails, watch the stream. Tomorrow I'll live the life I should have started a decade ago. But tonight, I sit in this cabin, free, victorious, finally at peace, and I don't think about them at all.